Hello, hello, hello. We are live. We are live. Good
Hello.
evening, everyone.
Hello,
Give me a
everyone.
second and give me a second and I will, so we can share the video. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Welcome, 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 everybody. Please share this video out. I want to make sure that we get our guest in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Welcome to Bald Life Magazine, Living a Bald Life. Living a Bald Life. I'm so excited to be here tonight. My name is Jamie Elmore. I am the editor in chief of Bald Life Magazine. I am your alopecia confidence coach. And we do this show every single Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And the purpose of the Bald Life magazine is to feature stories of individuals, actually of men, women, and children that are bald due to alopecia, cancer, medically induced, or simply by choice. This magazine is for them. This platform is for them. This platform is for them to share their stories, for them to heal, and for them to rock their crown, to unapologetically rock their crown. And we feature a guest every single week. Every single week, we feature a guest and they have an opportunity to share their stories. And so, what I want to do, guys, is I want to put some context around what we're going to be talking about tonight. And I want to just make everybody a little comfortable. So, alopecia. What is alopecia? Alopecia is a autoimmune disease. It's where your immune system attacks your hair follicle and causes your hair to fall out. There are 6.8 million people in the US, 147 million people worldwide that has this disease. That just blows me away. And I actually think there are more people than that because so many people suffer in silence. They suffer in silence with this disease and they feel like that they're the only one that has this disease. But let me just rest assured and let you know that alopecia does not discriminate, okay? It's not contagious. It can happen to anybody, any age, any gender, any race. It does not matter. Alopecia can just show up. It can just show up in your life at any given time. And so I want to jump right in and I want to say hello and I want to welcome my beautiful guest, Tiffany. How are you?
I am wonderful, Miss Jamie. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. It's so good to see you. And you're so beautiful. You have a beautiful headband on. Did you make
Thank
that yourself?
you. I did not. I actually looked this up on Amazon and I hunt them down all over.
It is so beautiful. So beautiful. I want to jump right in so we can have a conversation. And I want our guest to get before we get started. Tell us what kind of work do you do? What do you do for a living? I just want to break the ice a little bit.
So, so, so this is a really loaded question. I actually have quite a few jobs. My main
Okay.
income job is I am a master esthetician, and I am the head of my department at one of the day spas where I live here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And what I do for alopecia is I am the National Alopecia Foundation's legislative liaison. So I'm the first ever fighting for our rights for the state of Tennessee to get our state senators and our governor to support a bill that I have to present to them to be able to support everyone, adults, children, anyone that suffers from alopecia. And it's hard, but I'm gonna get there. I'm determined. And then I'm
That's
also
amazing.
the thank you. I'm also the head support group leader for Middle Tennessee Alopecia Support Group. And then I've got a bunch of teammates that are out there helping me, take over Tennessee together because it's definitely going to take a team effort to be able to get the word out there to create, like awareness. And because a lot of people really don't know what it is, and people just look at you like, oh, maybe you shaved your head, or maybe you have cancer. You obviously get that a lot. And I'm just here to try to change that and have a different perspective of how society's narrow-minded vision of beauty perceives how they view us. And to maybe, look on the outside that it's just
Exactly.
hair. It's just hair. It doesn't define you like we all say, everyone that has alopecia, it does not define us.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Wow. You are amazing. I just want to kind of break the ice a little bit. I wanted everyone to kind of get to know you just a little bit more. But why don't you just tell us, give us, kind of take us on the journey. When did you notice that your hair was falling out? And when were you diagnosed with alopecia? That's a kind of a twofold question.
So my alopecia started when about the time I noticed was about 11 years old. It started thinning out significantly. About the time I was 14, I started getting a bald spot about the size of a $50 behind the back part of my head. It also through high school, it was extremely difficult because no one in my high school they couldn't find out. And what I mean by that is, if anyone in my school was to find out that I was going bald, it would have pushed me to the point of, you know, not wanting to be around. And
Mm,
they would have made me want to think suicidal thoughts, and they would have destroyed my soul. And so I covered, and I covered, and I covered. And I learned how to put tracks in my hair. I learned how to do some weave. I learned how to do a lot of things like
mm,
that. I started losing my hair significantly after high school. I was able to get away with wearing low ponytails, to not ever put my hair up in a ponytail because obviously you would see I had nothing in the back. And it was also really starting to
mm,
thin out all throughout my scalp. Um, about that time, I had a really, really abusive husband that I had gotten married, that made my alopecia 20
mm,
times worse than what it needed to be. Um, Psychologically, mentally, verbally, physically, it was just everything. It was very difficult until one day I put my foot down. And this is also when I started
mm-hmm.
to be more acceptance of my alopecia. Um, I was about 22 when I started
Okay.
becoming a little bit more open to the fact that this is what I have. People are starting to notice I'm wearing wigs. Um, Around that time, I had
Mm,
lost everything. This is when alopecia totalis turned into alopecia universalis. I went 3 years without
okay.
without having eyelashes, eyebrows, without having to shave my legs.
Mm,
Which, don't get me wrong, that was a bonus. Um, but it really took a part of my soul, not being able to look at myself and
yes.
appreciate and just know who I was. It was very, very
Mm-hmm.
difficult. Um, the people I surrounded myself with was probably not always the wisest choice. They didn't make anything better either. This is something I had to really grow into.
Mm,
About the time I was 25, ironically, my hair started to grow back. And I started growing a completely different hair color, different texture. It was curly, it was always straight and like a very blondish brown. Um, I started growing extremely black, curly hair. It lasted for about a year,
mm,
and then within 2 weeks, I woke up to being completely bald again. Lying in my bed every single morning, it globs
So
on my
let me stop you real
pillow.
quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so wait a minute, Tiffany. You just said okay. So what you're saying is you lost all your hair. You went from Ariata to Universalis, and then at one point in your life, your hair grew back, and then
Yes,
it
ma'am.
fell out again. Okay, that's deep. That's deep. And you also said that when you were in high school, that was a hard time navigating having alopecia in high school. Is that correct?
Very extremely.
What? Because yeah, you said that if kids would have found out that you had alopecia or that you losing your hair, you said what would happen? What? I
It
mean,
would
I
have
heard you. I just want
probably
to repeat. I want you to repeat what you said because I don't think people understand.
it made
Go
me
ahead. It
not
would have what?
it made me not want to live. They would have pushed
Hmm.
me to the point of bullying, to the point where I would not be able to function in school. It would have been very devastating. And, being young and going through that at that age, it takes a part of you. And you don't view yourself as being beautiful. You don't view yourself as even being human. And it can be very difficult.
Yes,
But, it's
I
I'm
understand.
proud of how these things happen, and they happen for reasons we don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad things
Mm-hmm.
do happen for the reasons they do.
So Tiffany, how how did you? Because I know support is everything when someone has alopecia. What was it like when you talked to your family? I mean, did you have support when it came to that? I mean,
my
talk to me
my
about
mo-
that.
my mother, I told her about it. I showed her the back of my head when it first started. And she was like, are you pulling your hair out? And I'm like, no, like this is just something I'm waking up to and I see and I felt it. And my dad, he was very supportive in this. He's just like, just it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. My brother was a little weirded out by it, but he was extremely young at the time. Which now he's a lot more understanding. But it was very difficult to go through, and like I couldn't really tell a lot of friends. I was very nervous to tell friends because everybody would talk in my community. Like they would tell everybody, and I had to keep it a secret. I had to hide.
Mm, wow. So, whew, I that touches me because I talk to so many of my babies from all over the world not want to have alopecia as a young person because it's harder. It's harder and it's more of a challenge when you're young. I just want to, oh, I commend you, and I want to give you a virtual hug. Just like
Thank you. Hugging.
give you a virtual hug. Really, really. How? Okay, so you lost your hair. You made it through high school. You started accessorizing because I call it accessorizing. I don't call wigs
Yes,
wigs.
ma'am.
Everything is okay. Everything is an accessory. A beautiful headband that you're wearing, these earrings, our eyelashes. Everything is an accessory. So
Yes, ma'am.
you started wearing wigs. At what point did you make a decision and say, you know what, enough is enough, no more? Talk to us about
I gave up wigs
that.
about 3 years ago, and I have not wore one since. Um, I, I had my mother pass away when I was 22, and that I think that actually stimulated the hair growth because it wasn't a stress
Yeah.
that I was worrying about anymore. Because I think mine is definitely triggered by stress.
Mm.
Um, and it's when I was about 3 years ago, I had a amazing guy in my life, and sadly, he passed away a year ago in a car accident. And I've been in two really abusive marriages in my life, and I've been
Mm.
abused a lot in my life. Um, and he was the first man to
Okay.
show me true love and to help me see the woman that I was. And I hate that it took someone else to make me open my eyes, but it did. It sometimes we need help to open our eyes, and maybe there's that one person that can help to open our eyes to be like, look, you need to lose this. You are beautiful the way you are. And people just look at being bald as being it is a downer sometimes, and I still have issues. But it's the fact that I am making a stand for others just like myself. And if I can't be strong enough to lead the state, how can I be strong enough to help them? And now that is the reason why I do everything that I do.
Understand. I understand. And like you said, it's going to take all of us collectively telling our
Very much.
stories because our stories are not for us. Our
No,
stories is for somebody else. And so thank you for sharing your story with us tonight. I so appreciate it. So tell me, let's get on a little happy note if we can.
thank
How do you
you.
take care of your scalp?
Okay,
Oh my
so this
goodness. How do you take yeah, tell us how you take care of your scalp. What's your beauty
so
routine?
So obviously, I'm a master esthetician. For people that don't know what that is, it is a skincare professional. Next thing to a dermatologist. So I help people feel beautiful and look beautiful, and it warms my heart every day. But I use
Mm,
it's I shave my head with a razor to just get that major
okay.
exfoliation that you need. But I will also, in
Hmm.
between shaving, use a good exfoliant, something that has like a gritty bead. You can actually make it with using all natural cucumber and grain up dry oatmeal. You can rub it all over your head.
Yeah.
It's great for calming. It's great for any kind of sensitivity. And you just rub it all over your head. I put CeraVe body lotion all over my body because it helps with, I see this is kind of funny, I guess. Older men have very dry scalps.
Hmm.
I don't want a dry scalp. So I do everything in my willpower to prevent wrinkles on the head, to keep it exfoliated. I put special oils. I just kind of go to town on it.
Wow. Well, you're gonna have to give me those secrets and write that down for me because I want to try that
You
on my
got it.
scalp. I do my own little thing, but I definitely want to know all the details about that. Now, I know that you are a single mom and a
Mhm.
great mom at that. Is there has there been a challenge, or let me ask you this way: do you find yourself having to explain to the parents of your children's friends, and other kids why you're bald or what alopecia is like? I mean, tell us how do you navigate that?
So obviously, kids are angels, and they are just like, "Oh, you don't have any hair. What happened?" I'm like, you got to make fun of it sometimes. Kids are just gonna be kids, and it's like, "Oh, I didn't listen to my mom, and I lost all my hair." You just something like that, just to make them just it's as fun. I actually went to my daughter's daycare not that long ago and read the Alopecia book, Why Is She Bald? And it was or the girl that is bald.
Oh, that's awesome.
And read it to them. And at the time, I was wearing a hat the entire time while reading this book. And at the very end of the story, it shows the girl saying, this is me and I'm beautiful and I'm the girl with no hair. And I said, the end. And I said, y'all want to know a secret? And I took off my hat and I was like, I'm the girl with no hair. And they loved it. Like it just lit up their whole face and it was really good.
Oh, wow. I
Uh,
know their eyes probably got big.
oh, very, very. And you
Wow.
just,
I love that.
and as far as the parents, you know, the funny thing I guess that I do, if I see someone staring at me long enough and it makes me feel uncomfortable, I will walk up to them and be like, "So, do you want to know why I'm bald, and or do you want to just make this awkward for the both of us?" So I will go up to people and be like, "Hey, it's okay. Just
Oh, that's
ask me
good.
about it." And when I tell people, people will come up to me and be like, "Hey, my husband is going through third remissions right now, and I'm like, well, ma'am, I'm so sorry to hear that, but can you do me a favor? I'll keep you in my prayers, but will you do me a favor? Will you look up what alopecia is?" And it gets a good conversation starter, I will tell you.
That's good.
You got to inform people. It's not that it
Mm-hmm.
sometimes
Yes.
it will frustrate some people, and I tell the kids get frustrated all the time dealing with it. But the fact that people just need to reword how you say it. Say it as, not ask me why are you bald.
Yes.
Ask me, so tell me about your hair. Tell me about you. Just reword it a little bit. That's all it takes. And for someone to take something completely out of context and just reword it a little bit, and it just changes a lot of things.
Concerning alopecia. How do you stay so positive?
I stay positive because
How do you stay
it
so
is.
positive?
How do I stay still positive? You know, it's the fact that
Yes.
I finally know who I am, and I know what I stand for, and
Mm,
I stay positive because of all the lives that I touch, and not just through alopecia support groups, but through meeting them day by day and seeing someone on the street or seeing someone in a restaurant. You walk by them, you're gonna immediate someone's gonna remember you. And I stay positive because I can help people get to where they want to be. I feel like to help to feel better about themselves. I have that positivity to give you the words that people are
yes.
searching for, to find that soul search for yourself. And it does take time and it does take a process. But if you are that determined, you can stay that positive because this world and may be going through a lot right now, and I know a lot of us are, but you can see so much good in so many different
Hmm.
things. You just have to open your eyes and look.
You're so right. You're so right. Wow. What that's a good perspective to have.
Thank
I
you.
love it. I love it. What you've done something recently for alopecia. Tell us, what have you done recently?
So I recently did something for alopecia and for myself. Um, I recently got a
Okay.
beautiful moral on my head. So,
Oh,
and
oh, yes. Beautiful. How long
so
did that take?
four
I can
hours,
see it. It's beautiful.
4 hours. So the reason
Woo.
why I got the butterfly is that butterflies to me are very kindred spirits, and that's what I see myself as. I blend in with everything. I'm like camouflage. I blend in everywhere, um, and I'm grateful for that. But the crystals are because my name is Tiffany, which means precious jewel. And the flowers are just, I love flowers. My daughter's name is even Lily. So, I'm a huge flower person, and flowers bring such beauty and blossoming. And you start out as a seed and you blossom into this beautiful flower. And that's how I view myself. And the blue is to represent alopecia. That is our color of blue. And instead of getting the support group ribbon on my head, where most people will think, oh, it's cancer, ask me about my headpiece and let me explain to you
Mhm.
why I got this for myself and to show people for alopecia.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, absolutely beautiful. So, wow. So I wanted, we were talking the other day, having our own little conversation. Tell me how, because you never know impact, or you never know who's watching you. So tell the audience how we kind of met and connected, because you reminded me. I I couldn't remember. So, and the reason why I want to share to understand that somebody is always watching you. Somebody is always watching you, and you never know who you will encourage or inspire. So tell us how you and I connected.
Oh, Miss Jamie, you connect on my level on so many different ways. And for everyone watching, this woman is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I cannot express to y'all enough. Um, Miss Jamie, I have been watching you for over 2 to 3 years. I didn't even know that
Wow.
websites of Facebook existed. I didn't even know anything about it until I looked up support group, and you were the first one that popped up. I have followed you all the way through a lot of your building, through all of your through the harmony thing that you did with the videos, and then everything that you've done for your support group and reaching out and your websites. You give me ideas to help my support group and to help other support group leaders. All of us for Tennessee come together. You make a difference. You are here to change the world just as much as we are. But you
Mm.
are, like I told you are our captain, and we are your shipmates, and we are only here to serve you. And I cannot thank you enough for all of the wonderful positivity that you put
Wow.
out. I cannot express to you enough how amazing you are, and how much you've helped me, and how much you don't
Mm.
even realize you help so many other people. And you need to give yourself more of a pat on the back and a high five and a standing ovation. You definitely deserve a lot of the credit.
Mm. I have to give that credit to God. I really do. I'm grateful, for him and the journey, that he's put me on, and grateful that you and I have connected. And now so many other people are starting their own support groups, and they're helping other people, because I can't do it all by myself. It's going to take all of us collectively to change the world. And I'm just honored to know you. I have just two more questions, maybe one, but two questions that I wanted to ask you. Can you tell us three fun facts about you that we don't know?
So, fun fact number one is I have been a karaoke DJ for 15 years, and I sing a lot. So, a lot of people know me by my bald head and my voice.
Wow.
Um, Another fun fact
Exciting.
is, let's see, another fun fact. I am such a country girl. I like to hunt and go fishing, and I like big trucks. I actually have a pretty nice truck now. And third is, you know, a fun fact about me is just I'm me, and you get what you get with me, and I'm the same person all the time, and I am very positive 99% of the time. I think there's only a few times that I'm down, but everybody knows it when I'm down because I can't hide it on my face. Um, I am just a happy person, and I'm very grateful to do the things that I do. And I'm very grateful to be a mom and to be a good friend and just to be a person out there trying to make a difference, just like everyone else.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I never would have thought you'd be karaoke. I love karaoke and a
Yeah,
DJ. I'm like, yes,
I'm
come
actually,
through.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm actually here now. About to be going on after this is over.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to keep you long. But
Oh no, you're fine.
in closing, how do I want to ask this? So, in closing, what words of encouragement would you give a person that has recently been diagnosed with alopecia? And then tell us quickly, what does alopecia look like for you in the future? I know that's twofold,
Okay,
but you can make it quick.
I can. As far as all of my viewers out there that are watching that are just now losing their hair, it doesn't matter if you are young, if you're old, if you're in between. Um, know that this is not going to make people that they're gonna view you in a different way, but this is gonna be a positive thing. Having alopecia is not a negative
Mm.
thing. That is the reason why there's so many different people out there, because without different people, this world wouldn't go around. It's know that you know you don't have to be completely comfortable going out there with it right now. Pace yourself. Um, let this be something that you can gradually grow into. Don't force yourself to do something that you don't want to do or something that someone else wants you to do. This is your time, and your time will be on your time. And just know that this is not the end. This is only the
Mm.
beginning. And being able to make a difference and educate people around you, don't be afraid to tell people. Educate people. That's all you have to do, and just stay positive. It's going to be okay. It's always going to be okay. Um, and as far as alopecia for me in the future, my future goals are very big, and it's going to take several years, kind of like how you built yourself, Miss Jamie. Um, it's going to take several years, but I would love to be able to get this bill signed for the state of Tennessee so that our insurance companies are going to be able to recognize us, to be able to help us. I know there's a lot of experimental studies, but we need help like everybody else. Why is it that we have to be singled out? Just because
Yes.
it's not a life-threatening condition, it's life-altering, and that still should count as something.
Mm-hmm.
I would love
Yes.
to see. I would
Yes.
love to be able to open up a autoimmune community center, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just for
Mm.
alopecia, but I would love to be able to help everyone with an autoimmune disease. And this is a huge, huge goal.
Yes.
Some people don't even know anything about it, but this is something that is, this may be 14 years out. This may be 15, 20 years out, but I have a goal and I'm going to get there, and I want to change this world, and I'm going to need help with it.
That's amazing. And you know what? There's never say your goals are too big, because if you can believe it
It's not too big.
and pray and believe God for it, it can happen. No,
Amen.
no, it's not too big. And He'll bring the right people in your life to make it happen. And that's
It's
what
true.
you stand on.
This is
Okay?
very true.
That's what you stand on.
This
So
is
I
very
just want to, yes, I just want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your story. And there's so much more to your story. And I know that we can't get it all in. Touch somebody's life. So I wanted to thank you. I want to thank all of our viewers and listeners who showed up tonight. And I want to just announce that we will be having a we will be releasing our magazine, Ball Life magazine, coming up in September 2020. We're going to be making history. We're excited about that. And stay tuned to next week. Come back next Friday, same time, same place, and we'll continue our stories. And so I just want to say good night to you. Have fun tonight at work,
Thank
Tiffany.
you.
And
Thanks
I know
everyone
that
for
we'll go back.
watching.
Yes. And I want to thank again everyone for watching. And we'll come back and we'll say hello to everybody in the comment sections. And we'll see you guys next week. Okay. So good night. Good night,
Good
everyone.
night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.